Hello, this is Carissa with Scrub Oak Soaps. We are located in Meredith, New Hampshire, and we are online at scruboaksoaps.com. Today I'm working on bath bombs. This one that I'm making is a cherry blossom fragrance oil, and I can show you here what I've got mixed in. I've got some mica, this is raspberry red from Brambleberry, along with my fragrance oil and some polysorbate 80. And then on this side I've got some, I want to say it's rose gold mica, fragrance oil, and polysorbate 80 added into this one, along with my dry ingredients that I keep pre-mixed. That way I can work on these at the store. I don't have to worry about weighing out and measuring ingredients beforehand. I just figure out how much I'm going to need for each particular batch. These batches, I usually make in about 2 pounds. I don't like to work in much larger batches than that while I'm at the store, just because if I get interrupted and I have to help customers, I don't want my bath bomb mixtures to sit for too long, otherwise they begin to harden with the rubbing alcohol that I add in, and then I can't use up the rest of my mixture all the way. So I work in fairly small batches. These batches will give me about 8 bath bombs and then an additional 1 to 2 samples after I'm done. So right now what I'm working on is I am mixing in the mica powders, the fragrance oil, and the polysorbate 80. And what I'm doing here is I'm just working to break up any clumps that are in here. Sometimes the citric acid will clump when you let it sit after it's been pre-mixed. So I break up those clumps by hand. I mix everything in. And doing it by hand just gives me a little bit better feel for whether or not everything is thoroughly mixed. I can tell if the oils are still separated from the dry mixture. And this way I make sure that it's well and balanced when I mix it in. So this one's just about done. Next I'll move on to my raspberry red. And what I'm going to do with these today is I'm going to make kind of a flower pattern in the bath bombs. This is another type of bath bomb like my Piquante Lait that I did. The Lait bath bomb has a little yellow flower in the bottom, and I'm just going to show you guys today how we make that flower design in the bottom of our bath bombs. So what you need to do the flower design is some kind of a tool. You can use a chopstick. Here at the store, I don't remember to bring my chopsticks with me, so I usually use just a little pipette about this size. What you need is a little pointed tip, something that you can use to kind of indent the mixture that you put in down in the bottom of the bath bomb mold. And you just use that tool to shape it the way that you want to. So if you've ever made bath bombs before, you know that generally the rule of thumb is that you don't want to pack your mixture too tight into your mold. Otherwise, you're going to have problems with it releasing. You're going to have a very heavy bath bomb that will just sink to the bottom of the tub and then kind of do its little thing on the bottom of the tub. And customers don't really care for that too much. They like to see the bath bomb. They like to see it swirling around, fizzing, making their bathtub really pretty. So for the most part, you generally don't want to really pack your bath bomb very tightly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack a little bit in there for the very first part, and then I will use my tool to shape the part that I've packed, and then I will loosely pack the rest of it around it. Right now this step is adding alcohol. Oops, sorry about that. Adding alcohol to my bath bomb mixture. What this does is it gets the entire mixture wet enough to mold and shape, but it does not activate the mixture. Part of what makes bath bombs so fun is the mixture of baking soda and citric acid. They combine to form a chemical reaction when they're introduced into water. And if I were to use water to do this, it would prematurely activate the mixture. And by the time it dried tomorrow morning, there would not be much fizz left when the customer goes to put it into their tub. Again, that's one of the things that was really attractive to customers about bath bombs, is the fact that it has that fun fizz and foam on the top of their bath. Give it a little show. So we don't want it to prematurely activate. We want to make sure that we have enough fun left over for the customers. So the rubbing alcohol, this is a 91% rubbing alcohol. This is just the kind you can find at Walmart or any drugstore. You can use 91% alcohol to wet your mixture. What you're looking for is the texture of wet sand. This is about the good type of sand that you would use to build sandcastles with. What that does is it allows us to form it into the mold and then release without the whole thing falling apart. Sorry, it's kind of hard to talk while spraying rubbing alcohol. The fumes are getting me here. All right, so this is just about ready too. And as you can probably tell, it's a beautiful day in New Hampshire. We're out in the Lakes region. We are in an area where we have a lot of motorcycles come through. We have a lot of outdoor traffic. A lot of people like to walk. A lot of people like to be out on the boat. Today's a little bit cooler, so not so many people out on the boat. Lots of people out on their bikes today. So I'm sorry for the noise, but that's part of what makes this area great. Okay, so I got this to the consistency that I wanted at. So I just take a small amount. And that might even be a little too much. So let's take a little bit out of there. And so now what I'm doing is I'm forming a circle. And I'm packing it in there nice and tight. You can see the circle. And I just take my tool and I do a little bit of an indent. And I might kind of pack it down again. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good.
And just so you know, I'm doing a little video demonstration over here. You're not going to be on the video at all, but if I'm talking to myself, it's not really talking to myself. I'm not being weird. But you're welcome to watch and you're welcome to ask questions too.
Okay.
Okay, and now that I have my flowers shaped, I'm going to loosely pack some of these other colors here. And here's what it looks like in the mold. And there we go. That's the cherry blossom.